I never meant to become the first human to trespass in the forbidden archives of the Volari Dominion. In fact, I never meant to leave Earth at all. My name is Adrian Hale, a systems engineer for the Interstellar Survey Coalition. My job was simple: repair navigation grids on long-range probe vessels. I wasn't a soldier. I wasn't an explorer. I wasn't anyone important enough to be remembered in history books. I was just a man who liked machines and quiet routines. Everything changed on the day our survey ship, the ISS Meridian, suffered a navigation collapse near an uncharted star system. We dropped out of warp into a region no human map had ever recorded. Before we could re-engage engines, a gravity snare seized the ship. Alien vessels surrounded us, sleek, black structures shaped like crescent blades. Energy signatures overwhelmed our defenses. There was no fight, no negotiation, only silence and submission. We were tractored toward a vast artificial world, an enormous ring structure encircling a pale blue star. My captain whispered a single name over the comms before power died. Volari Dominion. Everyone knew the rumors. The Volari were ancient, secretive. Their technology dwarfed ours. They rarely contacted outsiders. And when they did, ships disappeared. When power returned, we were docked in a colossal hangar. Armed Volari guards boarded the ship. They were tall, elegant, with silver blue skin and eyes like molten gold. Their armor flowed like liquid metal. Their weapons hummed with restrained violence. We were lined up and scanned. One by one, my crew was escorted away through sealed doors. When they reached me, a scanner malfunctioned. A surge of static erupted, and in the confusion, I slipped backward through a maintenance hatch that had been cut open during boarding. No one noticed. Or perhaps fate simply nudged me. I crawled through dim corridors, guided by instinct and fear. Eventually, the passage opened into a chamber so vast my breath froze. Rows upon rows of crystalline pillars stretched into darkness. Each pillar pulsed with light, whispering faint echoes, voices, images, histories. It was not a library. It was memory itself. The alien archives of the Volari Dominion. I didn't understand the words carved into the floor, but I felt their meaning. This was sacred ground, forbidden to outsiders. I should have run. Instead, curiosity, humanity's greatest gift and greatest curse, dragged me forward. I touched one of the pillars. A vision exploded in my mind. Stars being born, civilizations rising and dying, worlds shattered. Empires forming. It was too much. I fell to my knees, gasping. That was when I heard footsteps. Slow, measured, approaching. I turned. She stood at the entrance, tall and still as a statue. Her armor was darker than the others I had seen, obsidian-edged with silver. A long spear rested in her grip, its blade glowing faintly. Her eyes locked onto mine with the cold precision of a predator. A Volari guard. And not just any guard. An archive sentinel. I knew enough from whispered human legends. Sentinels were bound to protect the archives at any cost. No intruder left alive. My heart thundered. My throat went dry. I raised my hands slowly. I'm lost, I said. I didn't mean to come here. She did not move, but the spear hummed louder. Humans do not belong here, she said, her voice melodic yet edged like glass. You have seen what cannot be unseen. I swallowed. Then kill me. Her eyes flickered. Just slightly. You accept death easily. What choice do I have? Silence stretched between us. The archives pulsed softly, as if listening. Finally, she lowered her spear an inch. Why did you touch the memory pillar? I wanted to understand, I said truthfully. We travel the stars chasing knowledge. Curiosity is in our blood. She studied me, her gaze unsettlingly intense. You could have fled when you entered. Instead, you sought truth. I shrugged weakly. Humans are stupid that way. For the first time, the corners of her lips shifted. Not a smile, but something close. Stupidity and bravery often wear the same face. I exhaled. So do I live? She turned and walked toward me. Every instinct screamed danger, yet I remained still. She reached out and placed a glowing hand against my forehead. Images flashed again, but this time controlled. She was reading me, my memories, my intentions. I felt her presence inside my mind, calm and vast like an ocean. After a long moment, she withdrew. You do not carry deceit, she said, and your presence here was not chosen by malice. Then I can go? No, her voice softened. If the Dominion learns a human touched the archives, they will demand your death. Even if I let you leave, you would not survive. My stomach twisted. So, I'm dead anyway. Not necessarily. She stepped closer. There is one ancient law. A sentinel may claim responsibility for an intruder. If I bind you to myself, your life becomes mine to protect. No tribunal may execute what belongs to a sentinel. I blinked. Bind me, how? Her eyes glowed faintly. By oath. By union. My brain scrambled to interpret. You mean marriage? The archives hummed louder, reacting to our words. She tilted her head. Your species calls it marriage. Ours calls it soul binding. A vow to share fate. I stared at her. A lethal alien guardian offering me salvation through marriage. It was insane. Impossible. Terrifying. But the alternative was certain death. And somehow, when I looked into her molten gold eyes, I did not see cruelty. I saw solitude, duty, and curiosity mirroring my own. So, if I agree, I said slowly, you let me live, and no one can kill me. Yes. But understand, this is no casual union. Our lives will intertwine. Your presence will change mine. Your death would be mine. Your pain would be mine. I swallowed. And what do you get? Purpose beyond duty, she said quietly. And perhaps understanding. I laughed nervously. You drive a hard bargain, Sentinel. I am called Valeth, she said. If you accept, speak your name. The archives shimmered like starlight around us. I realized history balanced on my next breath. I'm Adrian Hale, I said. And yes, I accept. Light exploded. A ring of energy wrapped around us. Symbols burned into the air. I felt warmth settle into my chest, linking us. Not invasive, not controlling, just connection. When the light faded, Valeth stood before me, her expression unreadable. Yet I sensed something new, a faint thread between our minds. It is done, she said. You are under my protection. My legs nearly gave out. I just married an alien sentinel in a forbidden archive. Valeth regarded me. Yes, she said. That appears to be the outcome. For the first time, she smiled. And I knew my life would never again be ordinary. They escorted me to Sentinel Quarters, a tower overlooking the inner star of the ring world. Volari officials stared as we passed. Whispers followed us. Shock rippled through their perfect composure. No one questioned Valeth. No one dared challenge an archive sentinel's bond. In her chambers, I sat beside a glowing window, watching artificial daylight wash over impossible architecture. So, I said, what happens now? Valeth removed her armor, revealing softer garments beneath. Without armor, she looked less like a warrior and more like an ethereal being carved from moonlight. Now, she said, you learn our ways. You remain close to me until the Dominion accepts your existence. And if they don't, then I will defend you, she said simply, even if I must turn my spear upon my own kind. I believed her. Completely. Days passed. Then weeks. I learned their language, their customs, their history. I discovered that the Volari once ruled vast galaxies, but withdrew after witnessing civilizations destroy themselves through ambition and war. They guarded knowledge to prevent cosmic catastrophe. Valeth taught me meditation. I taught her laughter. She did not understand jokes at first, but when she finally laughed, a clear, bell-like sound, I felt the archives themselves tremble with joy. We spoke often of humanity, of fear, of hope. One night, as artificial stars shimmered above the ring world, she sat beside me. You do not regret your choice? She asked. I looked at her. I came here terrified. I should be dead. Instead, I found purpose. And you? She regarded me with glowing eyes. Then I do not regret mine. Months later, the Volari High Council summoned us. 12 luminous figures waited in a vast chamber. Judgment loomed. Valeth stepped forward, spear in hand. I claim the human, she declared. By ancient law and soul binding, his fate is mine. The council murmured. Energy rippled. At last, the eldest counselor spoke. Then let the Dominion witness. The human touched forbidden memory and lived. The sentinel bound herself to an outsider. Perhaps the galaxy changes. They declared my life spared, my presence allowed, and humanity granted cautious diplomatic contact. Not because of weapons, not because of conquest, but because one curious human entered a forbidden hall, and one lonely guardian chose compassion over duty. Years later, I stand beside Valeth on a balcony overlooking twin suns. I am no longer just a repair engineer. I am an ambassador between species, a bridge between knowledge and fear. Sometimes I ask myself how different history would be if I had turned back that day. If I had run instead of touching the memory pillar. If Valeth had raised her spear instead of her hand. But fate chose differently. I accidentally entered the alien archives. The female guard let me live. So I asked her to marry me. And together, we changed the future of 2 civilizations. The first time I returned to the archives after the binding, I trembled, not from fear of death, but from awe. Valeth walked beside me, her spear resting against her shoulder, her presence steady in my thoughts like a quiet star. The crystalline pillars pulsed gently as we passed, recognizing her, and now, recognizing me. You are no longer an intruder, she said. You are part of the vow that protects this place. I placed my hand on one of the pillars again. This time, the memories did not overwhelm me. They welcomed me. Ancient Volari voices, extinct civilizations, forgotten histories. They whispered not as warnings, but as invitations. You let me into the universe's greatest secret, I said softly. Valeth looked at me. And you let me feel something beyond duty. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The archives breathed around us like a living thing. News of our union spread far beyond the Dominion. A year later, a human diplomatic vessel arrived at the ring world. My former captain stepped off the shuttle, wide-eyed at the sight of me standing beside a Volari sentinel. Adrian Hale, he said. You vanished from our lost ship. Now you stand in an alien empire wearing their crest. I smiled. I got lost on the way to fixing a navigation panel. He laughed, shaking his head in disbelief. Humanity owes you. Because of you, we're not viewed as invaders but as potential allies. That night, Valith and I watched human and Volari delegates share their first meal together. No weapons drawn. No fear in their voices. Just curiosity meeting curiosity. You changed the Dominion, I told her. She corrected me gently. We changed each other. Years passed. I grew older. My hair turned silver. My human lifespan marched forward while Valith remained timeless. I once feared that difference. But the soul binding adapted. Her long life lent strength to mine. My fleeting years taught her to treasure every moment. One evening, I sat beneath artificial starlight, tired but content. Valith knelt beside me, her hand resting over my heart. Our bond holds, she said. Even when your body tires, your essence will remain with me. I smiled weakly. Guess you're stuck with me forever. For the first time since we met, her smile was not restrained or cautious. It was full, warm, human. When I finally closed my eyes for the last time, there was no fear. Only light. Only Valith's voice whispering in my mind. You are mine, and I am yours. Beyond flesh, beyond time. Centuries later, travelers entering the Volari archives pause before a new crystalline pillar. Inside it lives a memory. A human stepping through forbidden doors. A sentinel lowering her spear. Two hands reaching across species and destiny. And beneath the pillar's base, words carved in twin languages. Here began the bridge between worlds.